Hello healers and health seekers, it's me, Chota, healing with medical medium information for almost 4 years now. And I have not done a video in so long. I got inspired and I've been feeling better because I hadn't been feeling great because of dental work. Anyway, let's talk about it. What's up Wednesday? It's W-H-E-N-S. What's up Wednesday? What's going on in my healing journey? I haven't talked about it in a really long time. And this is why. So the last video I did, I talked about dental work and healing from PTSD. Wow, that was a long time ago that I talked about that because it was a couple months ago. And I talked about that because I did a lot of healing and I was able to go to the dentist. Well, I was able to go to the dentist and I went and I had a couple of crowns placed over here. And so I have a lot of work that needs to be done and it's mostly in the bottom here. And there is a crown here that is a gold crown that I have had for 12, 13 years now. And I've never been able to chew on that side since getting that crown placed. It now needs to be extracted because they can't replace the crown because there's not enough of the tooth left to even do a root canal. So they have to just extract it. And I have been having a hard time finding an oral surgeon because of my chemical sensitivities whose office is not loaded with toxins and smells that are going to send me over the edge and make me too sick to be able to, because I'll get migraines, so symptoms I get if I get an exposure is I'll get migraines, I will get dizzy, lightheaded, I can't think straight, I get really bad brain fog and I can't get my words out, I can't process, I'm just not able to function when it's bad. And then I'll take a hit and I do recover quickly if I get out of that. But when I'm in it, it's not a good situation. So I can't go to an oral surgeon whose employees are doused in perfume, for example. I did have an appointment with one. I tried to go to one. That did not work out. Because the person they told me on the phone, oh, we don't use anything like that. We don't use any chemicals in the office or anything like that. No air fresheners. Well, they did. They totally did. I walked in and I was hit with a wall of toxic chemical scent. And note that these toxic chemicals are not just dangerous to those of us who are chemically sensitive. They are dangerous to everyone. Air fresheners, carpet cleaners, laundry detergents, shampoos, conditioners, body washes, lotions and perfumes and colognes, makeup even, and hair products. All of that stuff is uber toxic. It has the same chemicals as pesticides. It's really harmful. It's neurotoxic. It's a neurotoxin in your brain and it does all kinds of damage to your body. Those toxins get stored in your liver forever and they can build up and you can get sicker and sicker and sicker, and that's part of how you develop a lifelong chemical sensitivity. So so that you're so sensitive that you can't be exposed to any of them. So I'm going to talk about my skin too. Just give me a minute. Okay, so that's toxic to everybody. And please hold. So those chemicals are toxic to everybody, but I am the canary in the coal mine and I am the one who gets hit the hardest first. Kind of lets everybody know, hey, we're in a toxic environment. The canary's going down, the canary's going down. So despite the fact that they said that they did not have these chemicals in their environment, they totally had those chemicals in their environment. And here's what I have found. People are oblivious. They don't even know that they're walking into an environment full of those chemicals, usually because they themselves are full of those chemicals. They have perfumes on and scented lotions, and maybe their home has plug-in air fresheners, or they use that spray air fresheners or whatever. And it deadens your senses. It actually kills your sense of smell so that you can't sense when you're in an environment that has that. And so I think a lot of times people are like, oh no, we don't have that here, because they're so used to it, they don't know the difference. But if you're chemically sensitive and you keep yourself in an environment that is free of those scents and chemicals, then when you go into that environment, it's like, whoa, it's an onslaught. So not only that, but then when I went in, the nurse that they assigned to me was doused in perfume. And I was like, I can't do this. So I left. So I did not get that tooth extracted. And I decided to go ahead and do the 2 crowns over here in the meanwhile, because I'm like, well, I know I can go into my dentist's office. Let's just go ahead and do this while we're trying to find an oral surgeon. So I did that. I had the crowns, and while we were doing the crowns, since we were on this side and I had to be there anyway to wait for the crowns, we went ahead and just did the uppers too. Now in hindsight, had I realized the extensive amount of work that having the fillings up here done, plus the stuff down here, and all of the carbocaine that took, because carbocaine's like one of the safer, because it does not have the epinephrine, and so it's one of the safer options for doing dental work. So, but it only lasts a little while, so you need more of it. And so we did a lot over here, and because of that connective tissue issues that I have because of having EDS. I have the EDS diagnosis, but actually stretchy connective tissue comes from long-term Epstein-Barr virus, and I'm sure that I've had Epstein-Barr virus since birth, really. And maybe it was dormant, but it doesn't mean it doesn't attack the tissues. So my jaw, when I had that work done, holding my mouth open and leaning back, like it's now if I'm laying down, it slides back. And I don't know, I guess that's maybe because stuff got stretched out. Well, so here's what happened. It's over time, as I was healing, I sort of figured out, okay, it seems like, because it was hard to figure out, because everything was pain at first, right? It was just all pain, and I didn't quite know what to do because I didn't quite know where the pain was coming from, because it was just like, pain. And it was excruciating, and it was so excruciating that I actually resorted to over-the-counter pharmaceuticals, because I was doing all the herbs and I was doing all the anti-inflammatories, and I still am. I'm still doing all of those. The whole time, of course, I did all of the supportive things, curcumin from Vimergy, I did all my tinctures that I usually take, plus I upped California poppy, and I took passion flower. Some people like nettle. I did magnesium glycinate. I did curcumin, like higher doses of both of those than usual. I did, high vitamin C and lysine and all the stuff to keep because I was already doing shingles protocol, so I just stayed with my shingles protocol, but also, upped some of the anti-pain supplements and tinctures. And I was hitting it with everything, and the pain was just still so bad that I resorted to what I would never, and I have not taken anything like this since my gallbladder surgery, because they gave stuff to me in the hospital, but in the IV. So I'm like, I don't like pharmaceuticals. That's kind of what's going on here now. It's because I did take some ibuprofen, but I'm like, okay, if it's new, it's easier to get out. I know this from medical medium. If it's not old stored stuff in the liver, that's the hardest to get out, but it's like new stuff coming in, it's easier to get out as soon as you're putting it in. So I was like, okay, I know I'm doing the heavy metal detox smoothie. I know I'm doing celery juice. I know I'm doing healing cleansing foods. So I will do, and you know what? I'm going to tell you this other thing. Pain makes you do things you never thought you'd do. It really does. Pain is a huge motivator for, like, I will do whatever it takes. And so I did. I took some ibuprofen. So I was taking that. I was taking, like I said, all my tinctures, all my anti-inflammatories. And I think everything fully was helping. It's just, it helps over time. And when I needed to, I was taking it. And also, I discovered, trial and error. Okay, you want to come up? Okay, here she goes. Muffins wants to come up. Hello, hello, I see you. Hi. So over time, trial and error, I figured out things that helped. And, you know, another thing for injuries, the medical medium has said, and he was talking about other kinds of injuries, but I just applied this anyway, is heat in the morning and ice at night. So I was doing that, and I found these ice packs on Amazon that go around your head. I'll just show you a picture of me with them. And so I was wearing the ice packs. I actually ended up getting 2 of them so I could trade them out. So over time I figured out the ice packs. I figured out that if I slept with the neck pillow under my neck, it held my head up so it wouldn't slide back, so there wouldn't be as much pain, because my jaw, when I laid down, my jaw would slide backwards because of I think because my connective tissue, and I think that it injured it. So I'm hoping that heals. Otherwise, I will just be sleeping with like a travel pillow under my neck, which is, I mean, I can do that. It's not that comfortable, but I can do that. I don't know. I was able to fall asleep. I learned in this process that I can fall asleep with ice on my head, just wrapped around my head very easily. So for the first few weeks, and this is why I have not, this is one of the reasons I haven't made a video in a long time, is for the first few weeks, it was so incredibly painful that I just lived in the pain. I couldn't do anything except for just be in the pain and try to get sleep, but I couldn't sleep. And that was part of it. Part of, I think, what makes pain a million times worse is not being able to sleep, because you need rest to recover. You need it. You need sleep. I know I do. And I couldn't sleep for more than a couple hours because the pain would wake me up. It was debilitating. So I was like living in that. And my husband was having to make us food and all the stuff. Like, he was taking care of everything. So that was just a lot. So I was learning I figured out, you know, like, hopefully this injury will heal, and things I did to cope. I just was in the pain. I just was in the pain for a while. And you have no choice but to just be in the pain. And so that's what I did. And I have been working on this. Thankfully, I actually had something that I could sort of do, because I couldn't stand up for very long or prepare food. I was so exhausted and I was in so much pain. And if you're watching this video, I'm guessing you probably know what that's like, because that's what chronic illness is like, and that's what my life used to be like. But this I knew was temporary, because it just was because of my teeth. And so I'm like, okay, I know I can heal from this. I just have to do what I have to do to get through it. So I did. That's what I did. And every day, because I was like simple, easy foods, right? I could still chew a little bit, like steamed potatoes that are steamed real soft, and bananas are the foods that I could chew. And so everything's been liquid except for those 2 foods. And then once the pain started calming down a little bit, and it's been such a gradual process, like tiny bits by tiny bits by tiny bits, it's gotten better and better. And it is still not 100%. It's not all the way better. I'm not to where I can chew yet on that side. But another thing that I discovered was interfering is that there was still some, what's it called, dental cement on the bottom of one of the teeth, and it was poking out into the gum in a way that it was hitting a nerve. Every time I would touch that tooth, it would send like an electrical jolt through my head, and it hurt so bad. So whenever I went back to the dentist to try to, because after you get a crown place, you have to sort of correct the bite, because it's like, it's never going to be perfect the first time. It takes even a few times. However, my dentist is like, well, this is our thing, so however many times you need to come back to try to get the bite corrected, that's no charge. So I went in, and at one of the times, and I was trying to get this corrected, but I was letting a long time go between it, because I was just like, I just want to let some of this inflammation heal, because I didn't want him to touch it. At the same time, like, no, I don't want you to touch anything. So he was able to get the cement off like the inside of the gum line, but when he would go to touch the one on the outside, it would send that jolt of electrical. He's like, well, what do you want me to do? I was like, I don't know. I'm like, I don't know. But then I figured out, oh, what if we just do 1 shot of carbocaine? Then maybe he can scrape that off and I won't feel it. And that's what we did, and it worked. And actually it has been going down since then. So now I'm just letting that heal. Meanwhile, on the other side of my mouth, the crown, the tooth that needs to be extracted, is just getting a little bit angrier, because there's like been this, so if you look at the mechanism of what's been going on, what's been happening in my body, so there's been this inflammation of, it's shingles that causes that pain, right? It's shingles that causes all that pain in our teeth. And we think it's the nerves, and sometimes it is. So it can be tricky to distinguish, but a lot of times, like, unexplained tooth pain is just, it's the shingles virus. So I do have decay, and I do have issues where I do need like fillings, and there is work that needs to be done. And at the same time, because there is that underlying shingles going on, having an injury just triggers it more, right? So I'm doing all the supplements. I've upped my anti-inflammatories. I've added magnesium glycinate and things like that to the whole shingles protocol. And I've way upped my curcumin so that it's the anti-inflammatory. So I know it's helping, but it's just a careful, slow process. So it just takes time to kind of heal. And I know that what really needs to happen over here with the crown is I need to get that tooth extracted. And then once I do, the inflammation that's going on over here can calm down. And then I can level out my bite and get my bite right. And then hopefully I'll be able to chew on both sides of my mouth. Now, so foods that I was eating was every day, of course, always, we gotta flush the toxins out. So every day I have lemon water, I have then my celery juice, I have then my heavy metal detox smoothie. All of those things go without saying. That's always what I do every day. Because I wasn't able to prepare the food and my husband had to do it, we were going with really simple stuff. And because at first I could chew steamed potatoes, I was eating so many steamed potatoes every day. And I had this dish that I made, and I did not take pictures because it's not pretty, but it was delicious to me. I loved it. And what I would do is I would take frozen peas, raw, frozen, and I would let, some thaw, but I would blend them with lemon juice, honey, garlic. Oh, so good. I would basically make that into a soup. And I would take the steamed potatoes and mush them, like just cut them into pieces or smash them or whatever. I always had to take the peels off because I couldn't chew the peels, but I could chew just the insides of the potatoes. And I would put the potatoes in that cold soup. It was so crazy good. It might sound weird, but I'm telling you, it's so delicious. And if you just made the soup by itself, it's really good, but it was really good like as a sort of a sauce for potatoes. Oh my gosh. Just thinking about it. I like really simple foods now. When I was first on my healing journey, like I liked more involved recipes that reminded me of recipes of things I used to eat. Now, I just appreciate the foods for what they are and what they do. And I taste so much flavor in all of them. So I like things really simple. The less ingredients, the better for me. I just like to keep it really simple. And so a lot of times I would just eat steamed potatoes, or I'd eat steamed potatoes dipped in honey, or I'd eat the steamed potatoes with the peas, something like that, like the liquid peas, because it's like, how many ways can we find to make foods that are just blended up, basically? And another really good sauce for potatoes is the raw sriracha, medical medium raw sriracha. And I like to mix it with extra lemon juice, the juice of lemons, and extra honey, and make a sauce out of that. And usually I would pour it over steamed potatoes and lettuce or mixed greens, but I can't chew the lettuce right now. So I didn't do the raw sriracha very often because I like that particular flavor combination with the greens. And sometimes with the pea soup I would blend in spinach. That's also really good because you can't really taste the spinach, and it just gives it extra leafy greens, which is good for rebuilding. So I copious amounts of steamed potatoes, and that was working really well until recently when when I got the cement taken off. It was still super uber tender sensitive, and I couldn't chew at all. So now everything right now, and it's still healing from that, and maybe I can chew again, but what I did do is I started another 369 cleanse, an advanced 369 cleanse. So no potatoes, and I've just been blending everything, and I couldn't chew at first, and I just thought, hey, since I can't chew anyway, why don't I just go ahead and do this 369 cleanse? Since I can't eat the potatoes, let's just go for it, since we're doing everything all raw anyway. And that's what I've been doing. Oh, and also in addition to the potatoes and stuff, I was having smoothies, extra smoothies too. So that would be, my basic go-to smoothie is bananas, a little bit of water, 2 giant handfuls of spinach, mangoes, and maybe a couple of dates. And that's kind of my go-to. So I was having that spinach smoothie like every day. I was having that smoothie like every day too. So that was the food I was eating for, I don't know, like a month. And what happened, also, what has happened, so here's what I noticed in my body other than the tooth stuff. Also the weather changed, so it kind of went from cold to spring. And here, that means the humidity's back. So all winter, the humidity just goes away. Bye-bye, humidity. Where are you? We don't know. We don't see you anymore. It doesn't come. It's so dry. It's so dry. It's awful. And it actually also does this to my skin because there's no humidity. Now the humidity's back a little bit, and spring, and when I'm having other issues in my body, that also means edema in my feet. Because I've been sitting a lot because of the pain, and because I was saying that, like, because I was sitting, you know, I was crocheting. So I've been making this blanket. I've been crocheting this blanket, and it's almost finished. I'm really excited about it because I just had time because I wasn't doing anything else. And sometimes because I could only sleep for 2 hours at a time, I'd be up kind of like throughout the night. And I would just sit there and kind of like watch whatever on my computer, listen to Medical Medium Lives or whatever, watch stuff on my computer, and crochet these blanket squares. And the blanket's almost finished. It's really exciting. So I can show you the almost finished piece of it, and when I'm finished I'll show you the finished one. But okay, so physical symptoms, so the edema in my feet, and now that I was able to go off the ibuprofen. I only took that for about a week because the pain was so bad. But once we got this out, once we got that extra cement out, I have not needed that anymore. Thank God, because I do not like taking pharmaceuticals. But it's even when so that it's been kind of coming out and making little acne and stuff. There must be copper in it. Yeah, the edema in my feet too. A, because I've been sitting, and B, just because of the extra toxins in my body and the extra hit to my immune system. That's the other thing too, is so this dental work, it's going to take a while because I still have this side. So I still have the extraction to do down here, but then I have fillings to do up here and down here. So there's more work to be done. But I am not going to do that all at once. Forget that. I'm going to do that. And the extraction is its own thing, because that's the oral surgeon. That's like a whole nother thing. But at my dentist, there's here and here. That's going to be two more visits. And I space the visits out at least a month apart, so that my immune system has time to recover from the hit it takes from the injury, from the fillings, and from the... So it's a lot. That's a long video just to talk about my dental work, but that is what has been going on with me. Like, that is what's been going on. Currently, now that I am starting to feel like, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm finally starting to feel a little better, be able to prepare food again, like feeling more like myself. I was like, time to cleanse, because let's get all that, I took that stuff, let's take it out. So I'm doing a 369 advanced cleanse again, which I said, and I think I'm on day 6 right now. And I love doing the potatoes. I love doing all that. I really do. I love it. But when I eat a lot of cooked food, and I was eating a lot of potatoes, like a lot of potatoes. So there's nothing wrong with that. It's fine. But when I eat a lot of cooked food, I just don't feel, I don't have so much energy. I don't feel as good, stuff like that, which I don't notice when I'm in recovery mode, you know, when I'm sitting there and I'm trying to convalesce and get better. But when I start to feel a little better, I'm like, time to cleanse. And like day 1 on the cleanse, I was like, ah, yes, this is what I need. Day 2, I was like, this, yes, yes. I feel more like me. I was feeling clearer. My energy was feeling better. You know, I'm like, yes, this is what I need to be doing. I just felt really good about it. And I love just that feeling. I've done the cleanse, the 369 advanced cleanse, so many times now. I think this is around like 18 or something. Not consecutively, but I think this is around 18 for me. And I've done it so many times that I just know what, like, my body's like, oh, we're doing this again. Okay, great. We know what to do. I know what the feelings are. I know what's going on. So I just love that I'm feeling that, you know, I'm feeling that cleanse, and and I'm feeling the cleansing action, and I just know what it feels like in my body, and I'm like, ah, yes, stuff is coming out of me. It's all coming out. So it comes out of my face too. But I'm like, that's not a reason not to do a video just because my skin's having a little thing. It's just a blip, whatever, it'll go away. And but I just wanted to, because I am feeling more like, yes, let's make a video, let's talk to people, let's see what's going on. And in the meanwhile, though, the other thing that I've been doing when I'm sitting there, kind of, you know, when I can, because I don't always feel clear-headed to do it, but when I do feel clear-headed to do it, is I love to go to Medical Medium videos and answer questions and stuff like that, like on his social media, to when I can, you know, like I don't know everything, but to answer what I do know and to try to help people, try to point them in the right direction. And there's been like this community that's developing in the comments on his videos, which is really cool. I feel like I'm getting to know people by reading their comments. It's so neat. And because he didn't, you know, like now he's been doing so many more videos, and he didn't do a lot of YouTube videos before, so it wasn't really, it's like more on Instagram and Facebook that you would see that stuff. But I also wasn't, after a while I stopped being on Facebook very much, because Facebook is for all the censorship that he gets and stuff like that, like Facebook is just it's the shit show, you know, like it's the waterfall of nonsense trolls. It's crazy. They just litter his comments, and they just make it impossible to sort of see the real comments and help. Like you try, but it's just like exhausting. It's exhausting on Facebook. But YouTube is more like people. And Instagram, I mean, there's bots. And then the trolls do come in on Instagram, especially on particular posts that seem to get people all riled up. Like, it's like somebody will make a post about, how dare medical mediums say this? And then they send their minions in, and they all come and, you know, they all come at him, and then it's attack mode. And so because I've been hanging out in the comments everywhere lately. TikTok is hard. TikTok is just a freaking, I have a hard time with TikTok. I really do. I have a hard time with his comments in TikTok. I have a hard time with TikTok. It's just like, it drains so much of my energy. It's just so draining to do. So I sometimes will try to go over there and do a little bit of damage control, but it's like, I sometimes will try to go over there and do a little, like, just to like help a little, like help somebody who's really actually seeking the information, and not just like, and some angry troll or some bot or some paid troll or whatever. But it's just a hot mess over there. It's just a hot mess. So YouTube and Instagram are my preferred areas where I like to hang out in the comments. But it's really, I don't know, it's really cool. It's like there's this whole little community going on. It's like I'm recognizing people. I'm like, oh, I know that person. I know that person. And, you know, some of the people that comment regularly, I'm in contact with, and it's just cool. It's just cool. We're like getting to know each other that way. So I'm like, oh, here's a surprise I never thought. Because YouTube is tricky because it's hard to interact. You can't like direct message somebody. So it's only so much communicating you can do. But I don't know. It's kind of working out. It's kind of cool. So, yeah. So that's what I'm doing when I'm not making videos. Like, I've been convalescing. And now that I'm starting to feel back to myself, hopefully, here I am again. And I'm hoping to be able to make more. And because I really miss it. Like, I miss my channel so much when I'm not able to be on it and doing stuff with it. And it's almost like when I'm not making videos, like, I forget that there could be comments, and I like don't even read the comments. But I'm over in the medical medium comments like constantly. But neglecting my own. Sorry, guys. Sorry. But please comment anyway, because encourage me to stay here, to stay in the comments. Anyway, yeah. So the beautiful thing about healing that I want to say, just one last thing, is that the beautiful thing about having been in this healing journey for so long, and having been in the medical medium community for like almost 5 years now, is that I know that when I take a hit like this, I know how to build myself back up. I know how to protect myself. I know I have that foundation of healing, so that I know it's temporary. So I'm like, oh, I'm down and I'm feeling awful, but I know that I'm going to come back from this. So I'm like, okay, it's just time to wait and heal, so I just, I got the ice packs. I figured out this whole situation with the ice packs on my head and how to sleep and all this stuff. And I figured out like, oh, I now can get a night's sleep, which, oh my God, the difference that it makes when I couldn't get any sleep, when I could only sleep for a couple hours at a time. And I had to go like 5 hours between, like, I would do like 2 hours, maybe, if I could sleep that long, and then it would have to be like 5 hours awake, so just so the pain could sort of calm down enough for me to be able to go back to sleep. And when I was finally able to figure out a way that I could support my head so the pain wouldn't be so bad, my neck and jaw, and that I could have ice my face, and then ways that I could wear the ice packs, it made so much difference. I'm going to tell you this. If you have tooth pain, there is this ice pack head wrap on Amazon that is made for that. And it is worth it. And it's only like 15 bucks, if that. I don't know. It's not even expensive. It is so worth buying, because it makes such a difference to just be able to freeze my face, and learning that I can actually sleep with a frozen face. Who knew? I didn't know I could sleep with a frozen face, but I can. And that, oh my gosh, it made such an incredible difference. in being able to just cope with the pain and then being slightly functional again. It's like when I could sleep and actually only wake up a couple times a night, which I do anyway because I have to urinate. And then, so I'd wake up, change the ice pack, go back to sleep, pee, go back to sleep. When I was able to just do that, it made such a difference in my functionality, and suddenly I can prepare food, and suddenly I can do things, you know, like not a lot of things, but I could make food, which is the most important thing for me. I need to be able to make food for not just myself, but my son, you know, like that's a big deal. It's a huge deal. And it's 4:44. That's cool. That's the angels. Okay, so that's sleep. Oh my gosh, that's everything. All right, well, so that's what I wanted to talk about today. I just wanted to catch everybody up on where I've been and how come I haven't been posting videos. Like, did you just abandon your channel, Ichota? No, not intentionally. I don't want to. If I ever do abandon my channel, I hope that I will have the wherewithal to at least come and make one final video and go, hey, I'm abandoning my channel. And also, oh, I do want to appreciate that there are people who did comment and say, hey, I hope you're doing okay. Like, just haven't seen you in a while. What's going on? And thanks. Thank you. It feels really nice. I love that. And even if I haven't responded, or if it took me freaking forever to respond, I apologize. But I did read it. I did read it. If the comment posts, it's because I've read it. So I did read it, even if I didn't respond. And I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm doing better. I'm doing better. Anyway, I just wanted to thank you so much for watching, my healers and health seekers. Oh my gosh, it's so great to be here. Oh, I miss you. Please comment below. Tell me you're here. Tell me you're watching. I have gotten DMs from people on Instagram saying, hey, I watched your videos and you really made a difference in my healing journey. And oh my gosh, you can't even know how much that makes my day. I am so honored to be a part of anybody's healing journey. Oh my gosh. It makes my day. It makes my week. It makes my world. I love it. I love knowing that, because, you know, I originally started the channel thinking, you know, maybe I'll connect with like one other person or a couple other people who actually are interested in like talking about medical medium stuff and, you know, hearing about this or sharing this, or like maybe I can just encourage somebody on their healing journey that like, hey, you can heal and it's possible. And, you know, it takes time, just like keep going, keep going. And when people tell me that happened, I'm just like, oh, yes, thank you. It makes me so happy. So thank you for being here. You probably don't realize how much it means to me. It's, you know, even if you don't comment. And I'm always really surprised when somebody comments or sends me a DM who's never commented. And I'm like, what? You've been watching this whole time? I didn't know. Say something. Say something. Say hi. Say you're here. Tell me. And I understand. I totally get also why people wouldn't, because I know that when I was, you know, when I was in the deepest chronic illness, or even sometimes now when I'm just having kind of a down day, I could be watching a video, but I might just not have the wherewithal to comment. Like I just might not have it in me. So I get that too. I'm not shaming anybody if you don't comment. It's like totally fine. I get it. I'm just saying, if you can, if you want to, if you feel inclined, if you're able to, I totally welcome it, and it's fine if you don't too. So don't feel like bad if you can't, because I've been there. I've been there so much where it's just like, there's no words. I got no words. My brain fog's too bad. You know, maybe I could put a heart, but sometimes it's like, yeah, that's even too much. You know what I mean? Sometimes even an emoji is too much. It's too much. And I get it. I've been there. And it happens sometimes. So I love you. I love you all so much. And I am so honored and happy to be a part of the medical medium community and people who are healing, and to witness your healing journeys and to have you witness mine. And thank you. I love you. I love you. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.